this meeting to order. The Porter Town Council, please rise and follow in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Karen, would you call the roll, please?
Kelly Karaman. Here. Bill Lopez.
Here.
Don Kraft.
Here.
Laura Madigan. Here. And James Burgess absent.
We have a quorum. We'll move on to approval of the minutes of the June 23rd meeting. Look for a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and second. Any questions regarding the minutes as presented? Hearing none, all in favor of approval signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So ordered. Consideration of claims and sewer adjustments. I look for a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any questions regarding the claims or sewer adjustments? Hearing none, all in favor of approval signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered. Petitions and comments from the floor. If there's somebody like to bring something forth to the council, please step up, state your name and address for the record.
Hi, Jennifer Klug here, 200 Franklin Street, Apartment 8, Town Porter. Since the whole thing about dispatch is on the agenda again, I have some questions. Will there still be, after October, when it's official, it's all gone to the county, will there still be employees in the police department building like they have now, where if somebody has an emergency, they can walk in the front door, pick up the phone, and have somebody help them? I mean, yeah, sometimes you have officers in and out, but will there be somebody in there? That's happened many times before. That was one of the reasons why people were saying, when this, a number of years ago, about keeping dispatch in the town of Porter, it's not just a matter of making sure that calls aren't dropped, it's a matter of, this is a, we have a lot of houses here, we have the business district, and even Orchards and Woodlawn are not that far away, and people said it's important to have somebody. There was a lady one time, I think she was in labor, and she and the person she was with realized she couldn't make it to the hospital. I think they had called an ambulance from the police department, or something like that, because they weren't there because they didn't want to be out on the road and have the baby coming and not know what to do. So that was one of my things was, if this is gonna change, how is it gonna change? Is somebody has an emergency, especially if they're out on the road and somebody's chasing them, and, that was brought out a month or two ago, where there was a lady whose significant other or something was chasing her, and she went into the police department, and they got her back in the locked area, and they called cops before the guy actually came in the building. So he did come in the building. I was wondering how that's gonna play out in terms of what's gonna happen once all of that shut down. Are you not gonna have anybody here to have walk-ins, or are there gonna be walk-ins, or?
So Jennifer,
If the officers are out on a road or on a call, and somebody comes by the police
Can I-
department and the officers aren't there, what are they gonna do?
Yeah,
Jennifer,
I'm happy to answer that.
or you want to answer, Dan?
Yeah. So, one of the things, first of all, great question. It's something that we've thought about and we're planning for. One of the things that we are in the midst of working on is getting a full-time clerk position. So to answer your question, as far as someone being in the building, yes, that's definitely our goal, is to have like Monday through Friday, records and a clerk, employee. In fact, when you brought up the part about someone being chased, you're right, I brought that up, I believe it was our last meeting. And that got my wheels turning, and I started looking at options as far as some sort of panic button, to where someone could come in, press a button, it locks the lobby door, and immediately notifies what will be county dispatch, and then they can advise officers. It's my understanding, I believe it's Portage PD that has something very similar to that. Don't quote me on it being Portage PD, but there's a PD local that I was told that has that pretty much same
Because I think
feature.
Chesterton, you probably would already know, Chesterton, I've heard, as the front lobby door is not locked on the outside, but the inside door is locked, so somebody can, like, they were using it as a cooling station, if somebody has something going on in the middle of the night, and they can go in there.
Right, yeah, we plan on the lobby remaining open for people to go in. There's a phone on the wall. For general purpose business, it'll probably operate the same way that smaller departments in the area do, where when you walk in now, you lift up the phone, you're talking to a dispatcher that's sitting right behind the glass. After the transition, you'll pick up the phone and you'll talk to a county dispatcher, relay, your information, and they'll dispatch an officer to come to station.
Also, regarding the cameras inside the police department and outside the police department, how are they going to be monitored? I mean, you talked about a full-time clerk Monday through
Mhm.
Friday for different things, but, I know there was something brought up recently about, there was somebody, because I know, the second part of the question, are you still gonna bring in people to the police department rather than just bring them to county for things like the breathalyzer tests or questioning them or something? Because the one dispatcher, apparently she was watching the cameras and the perpetrator was alone in the room and did something, and she called cops.
Yeah, that would be something where basically our standard operating procedure would have to change a little bit, right? Because right now, we do have the staff inside of dispatch, they do have the monitors in there. And so where an officer might go and start preliminary paperwork and they know that a dispatcher is watching and whatnot,
Yeah.
obviously, we're not gonna be able to do that anymore, right?
Yeah.
But as far as bringing them back, we do have the holding cells and the facility to bring people back for whatever reason. We've got an interview room and whatnot. I can't go into too much on the cameras because it's a security concern, but I can tell you
understand
that.
that, but my issue is, are they going to be monitored from county? Are you going to be having the cameras monitored at all times?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah. The officers themselves will have access. They should be able to monitor them. And then, like I said, I'm not gonna get too into the weeds on it.
no,
but
I understand. I
Yeah,
don't
they're gonna
expect
be,
you to.
they're gonna be monitored.
I just think that that's a safety issue for the building.
I agree.
And for the officers and for different things, and I was wondering how's that gonna be when it's all shut down? And, let's see, okay, I still think this sucks, I'm sorry, but I still think this sucks. And,
Hello.
I really think that, I'm hoping that the town board can do okay with everything that's gonna change, because like I said, a lot of the people, once this started, was, a number of years ago, was keeping the dispatch here, because you can have people walking, and you can have safety, and you can have somebody chasing in the middle of the night, and I'm hoping that it works out, and it works out for the officers, and they don't have any more, areas where they, lose contact with dispatch and all that stuff, that crap that went on before, and I don't know, you have newspaper articles, and Chief Richardson has newspaper articles, and Jerry Price went to the newspapers and said, we have a problem. He had to go to the newspapers to get it fixed. They weren't fixing it, he had to go to the newspapers. And he was town marshal at the time, so that shows you how bad it is when you have a town marshal that has to go to the newspapers to get something fixed. But anyway, also, in terms of cooling stations, I know Chesterton and Portage and Valparaiso talk about cooling stations. Do we have any kind of something going on for cooling stations
Fire
in this
department.
weather?
The fire department.
Fire station, and it's
Fire.
listed with EMA and all the emergency contact places for them.
Okay, so there is something for, yeah, because especially, I mean, I don't think the power's gone out yet when it's really hot, but especially if the power goes out.
Yeah.
I mean, people have generators, some people, if the power goes out, there's no problems. You already know that, everybody knows it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Maybe we can share that on our Facebook.
Are there any other comments? That will move on to reports. Clerk Treasurer.
All right, first, I would like to ask permission to pay Milestone Contractors LP for this year's CCMG paving project. The total due is $342,546.86. This all came in on Friday. Michael Berry reviewed it. I reviewed it, Karen double checked it, so it's ready to go. And I just don't want to make them wait until the next meeting in the month, and this all came in on Friday, so the packet had already been sent out. So that's why I'm asking for it now.
And everything's good, Mike, if there's no restoration, still needs to be done?
Everything's done. The bid amount was $368 and change, the total was $342.
Right, came in a little bit less.
So you take that difference times 20%, so it makes that a little bit smaller, because we only pay 20%, but Victor and John were fantastic, helping keep the cost down, and between three of us working with the contractor, very good contractor, did a nice job, came in lower, so we're very excited about that. But that was the first time we had our people do the inspections, and it was so much better. That was fantastic, so can't give them enough credit for that. But project's done, everything's finished.
All right, and look for a motion to approve paying Milestone Contractors $342,546.86.
I'll make that motion.
Motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and second. Any questions? Any other questions for Michael or Corinne regarding? All in favor of approval signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Pay the bill, Corinne.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I have one more thing, if I may. So this week, I've had the pleasure of attending the Indiana League of Municipal Clerks and Treasurers Annual Conference in the State Board of Accounts School. They've been throwing a whole lot of information at us, including touching base on a lot of legislative changes. I just have one that I kind of wanted to point out tonight and make mention of. HEA 1001 added a provision which changes some accounting for building and construction related fees. So I guess I just want everybody to make this mental note and be prepared as we roll into budget season, which I hope to talk about at the next meeting. But this law says that any fees imposed by a unit for approval of an application related to construction or reconstruction of residential, commercial, industrial buildings, any other building space appurtenance, zoning, development, subdivision, classification or reclassification of land, all has to go in a separate fund and no longer into our general fund, which we currently put in there. And then obviously those fees need to be used to support the building department, planning, zoning, et cetera. So I am still trying to get some clarification on all the fees that we charge and whether they need to be routed that way. For example, we require now a stormwater permit if someone's building a house, right? I mean, obviously that's related to the construction or issuance of that permit, but that's a stormwater management fee, in my opinion, right? So there's a lot of gray area, but, so more information will be coming, on that, but that's all. And if you guys have any questions, you want me to ask or need clarification on too, let me know.
All right, thank you. Attorney Christopher, anything?
Nothing to report.
Police Department, Chief.
Got a couple things. The first is a request for the council to let us go out for vehicle quotes for 2027. It's a little bit earlier than we normally do. We usually wait till towards the end of the year, but we found that with production issues, and I think most of you are clear on the issue with the Ford Explorers, that we thought we were gonna be able to get them, and then we're told by Ford that can't happen. So basically just seeking the council's approval to start moving forward with vehicle quotes. Important to note that the quote request would be contingent, that the vehicle's payment will not be made until after the first of the year.
Right. There would be no expenditure in this year, in your budget for this year, but it'd be next year.
Yes, sir.
I'm all right with that, you guys.
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
All right, I have a motion, I have a second.
I'll second.
Okay. Any other questions for the chief regarding the motion? All in favor of approval signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
The last request I have is rather small. I've got 2 officers we're looking at sending to Cincinnati, Ohio at the end of the month. There's a hotel that I'm looking to book over there. I spoke with them today about their government rate. Their government rate is $157.33 a night. Our handbook, our policy, our travel policy changed and just capped it at $150. Anything over that amount, I need council's permission to move forward with. I do have a call with one of their sales associates for booking tomorrow. I do have high hopes that they'll honor the $150. In the case that they don't, seeking council approval to go ahead and book at $157.33 a night.
And for how many nights would it be?
It's 4.
For 2 hours.
it's not even $100 more than the approved, the
Yes, sir.
it would come to.
So we're talking about $60?
Right.
I'll still try to get the 150, but in the case that they don't.
Tighten the thumb screws on them, chief.
Okay.
Craig, you good with that?
Do you need a motion? Full
Yeah,
council?
well,
I'll make a
yes, yes,
motion.
please.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve the overage
Yeah.
on the hotels.
Did you already make that?
I did make the motion. Thank you.
And do I have a second?
Yes.
Laura, second motion. Any other questions for the chief regarding, all in favor of approval, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Lastly, just a quick rundown on stats for June, being that this is our first meeting in July. Had a total number of incidents, 849. 34 of those were case reports. We had also 34 crashes, 4 pursuits, and a handful of training hours. And that is all that I have for you.
Thank you, chief. Move on to fire. Chief Craig.
Good evening. Only thing I have is, our stats for June. We responded to 101, emergency responses. 65 of those were in Porter. Lost my count. 2 in Dune Acres and 8 in Westchester Township. It was kind of a heavy, mutual aid month, with the remaining being, out of our primary districts for mutual aid calls. Busy time was afternoon that last month, the afternoon shift. And I'm not sure what happened. I wasn't able to get, and maybe we didn't have any Porter Beach related incidences. I don't recall any for sure off the top of my head, but I couldn't get it to show like it did last report, so we may not. I know we had one, but I can't remember if it was the beginning of July or if it was the end of June. That is all I have for our report. We're quickly working on getting the new truck in service. It's going faster than expected, so hoping by the end of the month we might be response ready. If equipment starts coming in, that's kind of been a little bit of a hang up with some of the delivery dates on that stuff, but we are moving forward. That is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Public Works Department.
The only stuff I have tonight is on the agenda later.
All right, thank you, Jamie. Park Department, Brian's not here, please excuse
I
that.
have 4 things though.
Okay,
First and foremost, an update on Brian. His surgery went well, and he is rehabbing this week, and he'll be back on his schedule. For Park Department notes, I will read Brian's notes. Fourth Fest went well despite the rain delay. Had a large crowd for the parade and morning activities. The band was unable to play due to the weather, but Rotary has asked them back for next year. Fireworks were delayed to 9:30 and were well received. Only area of the park that received damage was in the parking area. That will be fixed once the ground firms back up. Thank you to the Chesterton Porter Rotary Club, our police and fire departments, and all of the volunteers for making the day a success. Thank you also to the Public Works Department for assisting with setup throughout the extreme heat we had that week. Brian's second note is I would request a approval to begin the quote process for a new Park Department pickup truck and snowplow package utilizing proceeds from the bond sale. So I don't know if we need a motion for that to be approved or.
We do.
yeah, we'll have a motion to approve Brian going off of quotes for a new vehicle.
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Yeah.
Motion is second. Any questions regarding the motion? All in favor of approval signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Good.
And Brian's third note is finally thank you to staff and other departments for keeping things running while I'm recovering from surgery. But he says he's feeling okay. So he will be back July 20th.
Yeah, the one other thing Donna was gonna add to it, Brian had received an email from Carrie Honeycutt she's the care coordinator, Porter County Health Department, Vice President, Porter County Suicide Prevention Task Force. They were looking to put signs up. They're 12-inch by 8-inch durable metal 988 signs available at no cost to the town for, that's a suicide, 998 is a suicide crisis lifeline. I would say, I don't think we need a motion, just consensus to go ahead that they're allowed to put them up, whether like,
Might as well put it in there in case anybody questions them in the future
I'll
to
make
take a
a
vote
motion
on.
to allow for the 988 signs from
I'll
the
second that.
suicide prevention to be put up around town in public spaces, including the park.
and I, yeah, and they would
I
add to
second
it that in
that.
public buildings, town hall, and
Yep. Police department too would be nice.
perfect. All right, we have a motion and a second, and Don seconded the motion. Any other questions regarding the motion? All in favor of approval, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. I'll give you that.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you. We hope Brian has a speedy recovery. Yes. Building Commissioner, Director of Development.
Thing number one is 12 contractors for approval that have fees and all the requirements.
Look for a motion to approve the 12 contractors.
So moved.
Do you have a second?
I'll second.
Motion is second. Any questions for Mike regarding the contractors? Hearing none, all in favor of approval, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you. Second item, we kind of talked about this before, but I don't think we formally approved going out for a rate study with our stores. We're supposed to do it every 2 years. We did one 2 years ago. We didn't do anything with it. So if we have Baker Tilly update that, they can just take the one they did 2 years ago and update all the costs in it and be done with it pretty quickly. But we do need to do a rate study. Chesterton raised their rate, and we have things breaking that we need to figure out how to pay for sanitary. So we really need to go out for a rate study.
Can I say that I agree with you?
Yeah.
And I don't want to be nitpicky,
Yeah.
but I would like to reword something that you said. We didn't do nothing with it. We reviewed it and
We
decided
reviewed
that
it.
we didn't need to raise the rates,
Yeah.
but now it's time to review it
We
again.
need
So
to-
I
we need to
agree that we
review
need
it.
an updated rate
Yeah.
study. Thank you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Can we get before we approve the rate study, get a cost on it, or,
We tried that last time. I mean, I don't know.
the last time we kind of went, it didn't work out real well.
We got an
We had a number
estimate
and then
and
we
then
went
went
over
over
that
it,
number,
so,
so I don't want to
yeah.
just, I would like to have.
Or at least I can request a quote for that. Would you like to do that first?
I like
Just get a
I
number.
would.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
I
what we had last time, they can update, like,
Right.
I wanna say easily, but you know how that is.
Yeah,
It-
yeah.
Take what we had last time, plug in the new numbers.
Right.
It wouldn't be a full-blown study, so I can ask them for a not to exceed on that. At least get
Yeah.
rolling on it.
Yeah, could we do that, and then we'll, at the
I can
next
have it
meeting,
for the next
approve it?
meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll make a motion for you to get quotes from Baker Tilly for the updated rate study.
I'll second.
Excellent.
Any questions on the motion? Motion to have Michael go out and get a quote for sewer rate study? All in favor of approval, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right,
That's it for now.
that's it for now.
Okay, yep.
I had a question, Mike, was, we had, I guess it was either, we had an issue with one of the pumps that, before, over the couple
21st
weeks.
Street,
Yeah,
yeah.
did that get resolved, or?
It's better than it was. It still isn't functioning the way it should. Larry did some work and with some consultation from, I think it was Gas Voda, but I'm not positive. And he got it where we didn't have to monitor it the whole time, but he says it's on its last leg
So is that something we need to look at?
as soon as possible, but, you know, it's gonna be similar in cost probably to the other one, when you think,
Well,
Mike, or?
I don't know what the pump cost is, but North Bailey is replacing all the equipment and everything else, so it's not
So
gonna
we
be.
might
that-
not have to do everything?
If we just have to buy a pump, we'd have to find out how much pump costs.
Yeah.
That was the other question, how's North Bailey, is that,
North Bailey, I have to send something to NIPSCO so they can change a wire, so I'm working on that right now. And then they've ordered everything, it's not here yet, but as soon as I get the wire changed, because it's not big enough, we'll get that started.
all right, thanks, Mike. That's it for reports. Old business. You're done, right?
Yep, thank you.
Old business, we have ordinance 2026-10, establishing the next level trail funds. This is the second read, an ordinance, the town of Porter, Indiana, establishing a next level trail grant fund. This is the fund to use the grant money that, so we could distribute it, so Corinne can start writing the checks from it. It's all grant money, which was nice. We had a first read, this is the second read. I look for a motion to approve ordinance number 2026-10.
So moved.
A motion, do I have a second? Do we have a second? Don? Any questions regarding ordinance 2026-10? Hearing none, Corinne, you want to call a roll call vote on the ordinance?
Of course. Don Kraft,
Aye.
Laura Madigan,
Yes.
Kelly Karaman,
Yes.
Bill Lopez.
Yes. Okay. Ordinance 2026-10 is adopted. Where are we at? We have it on here, holding their old business, proposed truck route modification, Wagner Road, Lincoln Street. Did we come up with what we have to do? I'm kind of rewording the ordinance, or?
Well, if we change it and just change the weights for the truck route, no, we don't have it reworded yet, but we can just change the wording in there and add it, limit it, put it, there needs to be a sentence about deliveries, so something to the effect of Lincoln Street business deliveries,
Lincoln Street Business
something like
Deliveries.
that,
Mhm.
only.
Only.
So I can work with Chris and get it written up for the next meeting.
You think we can have it for the next meeting? That'd be great.
And then just decide on a time frame.
Right. We'll put a time frame in before it goes into effect and, okay. All right, under new business, the 2026 sidewalk repair project, they sent the quotes out. We had a couple questions. Kelly was quick to catch a couple errors. The one other thing I noticed on it was that we have, they have the address of the town of Porter, Chesterton, Indiana. And the contractor has the Porter address, but they have Chesterton, Indiana also down on their address.
It's probably one of the automated ones when they put the zip code.
The zip code on.
But the low quote, we had a error that Kelly pointed out on the dates. They, when we were gonna do a request for quotes, we asked for an idea of general, how much this was gonna cost, and they used that when they sent it back to us with the same date. So they fixed the date on it. It wasn't the same because in between we added more because of what the request, or the initial feeler went out for, but we've talked to them and confirmed that the quote's still valid and good to go. Was a little disappointed in American Concrete. They're kind of focusing now only on lifting and leveling, so they're not doing any tear outs, and then our other company did not respond. So we're pretty happy. The number that came back, it fits in our, over the years, our price per panel and stuff like that. So I think it's a good quote. If the town wants to go with it, I'd really like to get it going because you know, we don't want to put it off until the concrete plants close. So
No, sooner the better it gets done. All right, I'd look for a motion to approve Hometown Concrete leveling for, the total was $28,135.
we still have that in our line item, not asking for any money.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions for Jamie regarding the contract? Hearing none, all in favor of approval, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay,
Thank you very much.
thank you. Next Public Works equipment purchase, the mini excavator, attachments, and trailer.
We sent it out to 4 or 5 different manufacturers. 4 of the 5 replied back and met all the requirements. One of them didn't include the accessories. I've talked to John, and he assures me that all the makes that we put out quotes for are acceptable. They meet our minimum horsepower, they meet our hydraulic pressure for running the forestry head. And so we would be happy with any of them, but the lowest one is the Weaver JCB for $100,820, and that is for the machine and all the attachments. The trailer quotes are below because there was only one of these companies that offered the trailer with it. So we went ahead and got 3 different trailer quotes also.
Was that JCB you said?
JCB was the lowest.
And I'm sorry for not remembering. We thought we might have a trailer that we could use for this, but weren't sure until after we spec'd it out.
Yes,
And
to
so
run
that
the-
trailer's not gonna,
Yeah, run the forestry head, it's gonna be overweight on that trailer.
Overweight for that
So,
trailer,
and
okay.
we don't wanna do that.
thank you.
So then we had the excavator at $100,820, and then the trailer was $10,200. Total of $111,020. And you got money in the budget lines between the Public Works and
The sewer, if it's acceptable, the last I spoke with Corinne, I was asking for some storm money, and she said that
That's 100,000.
there's not really any money there.
In stormwater, yeah.
For JCB.
So it looks like there's 75,000 in MVH to go, that can go towards that, is that what?
Yes, as of the last appropriation report that I have here,
We have 90-something in there, but we need to cover our salt.
You need to
So
cover your
that's
salt,
why-
okay.
Why the difference
you wanna
in
take
the line
75.
item and the
yeah, so the correct number is $100,820.29
Cents.
Or for the machine, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's just the
Oh,
machine.
the machine, that's 29, yeah, 29 cents. I don't know where, I missed the 29 or I didn't.
Mhm. So then the other 36,000 out of sewer is his ask
yes.
for a total of, as you said, Bill, 111,020.
how much did you say your salt is gonna be total? Your salt.
The deficit is gonna be about not 100 and something, but about $20,000 difference with what we gotta get this year and what we had to get last year. So that's kinda where we're at. It's a safety net. If you
Yeah.
choose to spend it, it might happen, it might not, but we'd have to be coming back to ask. And it can be used and will be used on sewer projects as well.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, all good here.
Okay, that's why I want to make sure we're good with you first.
Okay.
All right. You guys did your due diligence on it, you like the machine, I know you talked to,
Yep.
Other
Talked to the
municipalities on
mechanic
it?
and talked to John, and they said, all these will meet our requirements. There's none of them that are a lemon machine, and they said they would be happy with any one of them.
all right. I look for a motion to approve the expenditure of $111,020.29. Split between, or I guess we should do the excavator is from
Weaver, JCB.
Weaver and then the trailer will be coming from
R&B.
R&B in Valparaiso. Trailer's $10,200, so the total comes to $111,020.29.
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
don't think there's 29 cents on there,
Yeah, I
according to my notes.
didn't see that.
I don't know where, yeah, Kelly's showing me.
This
on
one
hers. I don't
says,
know where-
on
Oh, yeah,
JCB, it
It
says
has 29 cents.
it's
on JV.
Eagle Eye Kelly.
$820.29.
I was looking at the summary email. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sheesh.
That's my error.
I just want to keep the 29 cents alive. Okay. So I'll second that motion.
All right, any other questions for Jamie regarding the purchase of the excavator and trailer? Hearing none, all in favor of approval signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
thank you.
Who's that Laura on the motion?
Thank you.
Next, we have fire department equipment purchase, radios and headsets for the new fire truck.
Yes, so the headsets and radios that are on the old one that is being replaced, are outdated. The headsets nor the radios they don't even make parts for them anymore. So I'm looking at getting the 2 new radios with the intercom headsets for the engine, or for the ladder truck. The 2 radios are already part of the replacement 5-year plan that I have for radios. We're trying to get rid of all of our extremely outdated radios. So it has been on a plan for a while among all the radios. And then the headsets to go on there. The headsets provide the ability for the firefighters to communicate within the truck, everybody hear the radio on the truck, and also gives them hearing protection from the sirens and such when they're responding to calls. The positive side is, I guess semi-positive side, if you guys do approve this, we will hold on to the old headsets because we still have 2 trucks that have that style on it that we'll have some extra parts for. But yeah. And that's through, that is for, $16,081.56 through Bartronics for the install of all of the equipment and the install. I did send out 3 requests. I got 1 back from another company that was more, and the other one did not respond.
Okay, I look for, and you have the, and you're gonna be paid out of your,
This would be for some of the outfitting costs from the bond. Would be my request if possible.
Did we, I wasn't here at the last meeting, and I, again, don't remember off the top of my head how when we planned out, the bond to purchase the truck, if we had also considered a certain amount of that money to go towards upfitting. I know that RDC offered a significant amount to help with the upfitting to try to help balance that out a bit. And I don't remember if our plan was to cover the rest of this with other money that came in with the bond. I don't remember how much over the purchase price that we used, or if we were planning on doing this with lit.
So our DC was equipment, it wasn't this upfitting. To my understanding, and again, it was just through conversations, that there was a little bit allocated around $20,000, I believe, for the upfitting for the headsets, radios, and the graphics.
Yeah. And the,
But so much math happened that night that I'm not sure what went where with it, and, but again, I'm good either way. It's just,
and Jim's not here. I feel like he would remember, but he's not here. You don't happen to remember, do you, Corinne?
So the way it was reflected in the minutes, based
Yeah.
on the conversation that you had, was that we were gonna get 1.35 for the truck, and that would leave about 150,000 for other equipment and the park truck.
And the
what
park.
was needed for the park. And then the rest is, the cost of issuance for the bond, so.
Yes.
We have to make the first interest payment with the bond proceeds,
Mm-hmm.
financial advisor, and bond counsel.
So do we know how much would be estimated to be left after the truck and the plow?
Well, I don't know how much the plow is, but
So if we
one,
esti-
we
well,
have,
if we
we
just
got about
estimated
150
the
to
truck
work
at,
with right now.
the truck at about 90,000, just to be,
Save 90, 92 or whatever.
So,
Yeah, okay.
So there'll be a little bit of money to do this.
50, 60-ish left in bond proceeds.
so if we spend 18, there's still gonna be about $30,000 left, or 30.
$16,081.56.
Oh, what's the second, but there's a second invoice from
There's a
R&B.
quote.
That's a quote.
Sorry, estimate, not
Sorry,
invoice.
I didn't realize, does it look like a?
Yeah,
That's
it
a-
looked
So we're
like
going with
two
Bartronics
separate,
because
but they
Bartronics
came one
was-
after another.
Yeah, they look identical, yeah, but yeah.
Thank you. Right, so we're looking at, the Bartronics was 16.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve the Bartronics quote for $16,081.56 to be paid for with the bond proceeds?
With the
The bond,
funds from.
yeah, the funds from the bond, mm-hmm.
Okay. Do I have a second?
A second.
Any other questions for the chief or?
No, after this, is there anything else that'll need to be purchased for?
The only thing that is left, is the graphics, which I'm trying to get all those prices together.
Do you need to go out for quotes for that?
It's gonna be less than $2,000. Right now, we're looking like less than 15.
Okay, so that would be
1,500.
no.
Okay.
Okay.
So, everything it was at cost through signature, and then I had to, needed to outsource one set of decals so it matched. So, I'm trying to rail all that in, cause it's been kind of
It's been a while.
been a little bit of a headache with everything that we've done, the graphics have been a headache.
And getting it done for the parade,
Yeah, that was
yeah.
an even bigger nightmare, but we got it.
And it looked
So-
great. In the parade, it was
Oh,
wonderful.
it's beautiful. Just trying to narrow down the ladder banner, and then we'll have it all together.
Awesome.
All right. So that, the graphics, that'll be coming out of the bond, or do you have in your budget?
That would be up to you guys. We can go to budget, we can go to, if there's anything left in the bond, we should know that answer, or those prices after we know
I
what
think-
Brian has on his truck.
Yeah, we try to do a couple other things with some of them.
And then, so I mean,
All right. All in favor of approval of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
thank you.
We're down to Animal Control Shelter Services Contract Extension. I know independently, we've had a couple debates going on this. I know Don had he wanted to have some input on it, Don not being here. Would we look for a motion just to table it to our next meeting?
I'm comfortable with tabling it.
I'm comfortable with tabling it too.
We also requested some backup documentation, some other things that we have not yet received, so I think we just need a little bit more time.
Right, and that's the other, right, we're trying to get a little bit more documentation on costs and. All right. I'd look for a motion to table it to our
So
next
moved.
meeting.
I'll second.
Motion a second, any questions? Hearing none, all in favor of approval, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, table till our next meeting. Crane put that on under old business for. Dependent agency and terminal agreement for IDAX access. I'm gonna let this one go right over here to Chief, and you can explain this one.
Yep, very simply, IDAX is a software, there's IDAX, NCIC, and inlets. And that is software that dispatch and officers use to check driver's license queries, license plates, criminal histories, things of that nature. This agreement was reviewed by me, I also passed it on to the town attorney. It's a boilerplate MOU, basically just allows Porter County Central Communications to run that information for us and basically authorize them, as well as us being an MOU, being that our dispatch center will be going away.
Just to add to that, it's something that's required. You've had similar agreements in place for years, but this is just a natural progression of the dissolution of your dispatch.
Okay, so I look for a motion to approve the dependent agency and terminal agreements for IDAX access.
I'll make that motion.
A motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion is second. Any questions for the chief or the attorney regarding? Hearing none, all in favor of approval, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. And we're down to town
Yeah,
code.
hold on, before you go
Oh,
forward, and I may have missed, and Corinne asked, it, we need to make sure we authorize chief to sign.
Yes,
Oh,
So,
I'll make a motion.
Yeah, let's just
so that he
correct
can
that.
sign the contract.
okay, so we have a motion so the chief can sign the contract that we just approved.
I'll second that motion.
Any questions regarding that? All in favor of approval, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, Dan, it's on you to sign.
Got it.
You're on the hook. The last thing on the agenda, the new business, was the town code amendment discussion regarding tall grass and weed vines. We're just trying to get this all straightened out so that we can move forward. We have a history of repeat offenders that don't want to cut their grass. Michael notifies them, they wait the days that they have to comply, they comply, and then they stop cutting their grass again, and it's just a vicious circle that they're going in. So I've asked Michael and our attorney, we try to come up with a way that we move forward when they have repeat offenders, that on their second or third offense, they will be fined if they continue.
So, go ahead,
I was gonna say and/or abated.
and/or abated,
And/or
right,
abated.
exactly.
And that it's a continuing order, so that you don't have to have the repetitive
Yeah.
notices.
Yeah.
Exactly. We amended our nuisance ordinance the year before last, or was it just last year?
Last year.
It was a couple years ago, right? And this issue was intended to be covered under that. And then after that ordinance was amended, passed, it seemed a little bit murky to town hall if we had clear authority to use it without it specifically being listed in the ordinance, the grass part. Attorney Willoughby's most recent reply to us has two options. I just want to say for the record, I love option 2, leave as is, because it does reference the state statute that allows for that specific process. And then just to be very clear in the language in the notice letter and appropriate. And that to me is the perfect solution. It was always intended to cover that. We just maybe didn't know if we worded it properly. So thank you for the clarification. And you think we're good to,
Yeah, I do, and just making sure that the residents are educated, because it hasn't necessarily been
Yeah.
enforced that way of putting it on the website, or
yeah.
however that's,
Mm-hmm.
however you go about it. The bigger picture is it's really not that many offenders overall, right? But
Just saying,
this
just a
will,
few.
this will cut down on some costs and the repetitive nature of it as well.
Thank you.
And I actually spoke to the main person we're looking at this for, and went over that with that person and said, going forward in the future, we're not going to continue to write letters, we'll proceed with a fine and or abatement. So our grass code says, and it's old, so it has in there for abatement, the street department, that's the way it's worded, can mow the grass, or we can hire somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't spoken to Jamie about that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Money.
Yeah.
I don't know how we'd wanna handle that. If you guys,
We don't have a mower that small
yeah,
to
so
start with.
they have a rider, you
We'd
know,
be
they've got
glad to
0
bring our big tractor down.
Yeah, so for the tiny yards. Yeah. I also contacted,
Like a bush
somebody
hog?
that can mow grass, you know, one of the local lawn care people, and they said they'd be happy to do it if we needed them to on call, they can go over and mow them, so I think we have it set up that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just have to, Andy and I'll redo the letter, so that we have the verbiage correct, I'll send that.
And then
to
the
Chris.
cost would be pushed to the homeowner.
Yeah, so if it's abated by mowing, then we have per code the authority to lien it, which
Right.
then goes to Corinne, which, you know, handles that way. The person I spoke to said they really don't want to do that, and gave me the reasons why their grass isn't getting mowed, and I said, well, I suggest you find somebody to mow your grass, so we'll see if that takes care of it. But I think we've got it solved with just changing the letter, and we'll draft the letter properly, and then, as we usually do, we can notify residents, say we have a change in our code, and, or enforcement, changing enforcement.
Change enforcement.
so that they're aware of that.
And if I could,
Mhm.
when the police, Justin and us, were having problems with curfew violations, it was always the repeat offenders, frequent flyers. And we'd have to wait for the parents. We started writing $50 tickets, sending them to the parent. We didn't have repeat offenders anymore.
Yeah,
It worked well.
that's, yeah.
Right, that's what, I mean, and this, we're not out to nail every, our residents, but it's just,
Yeah,
we waste a lot of time on this, and, I mean, and we get a lot of calls, people complaining, how come this is going on? So, I mean, that's what I would just want to try to resolve this so we don't have this repeating issue.
in my conversation, the two people that live in the house are at odds on how to mow the grass, which is what's causing the problem. And I can't fix that, so this will fix our portion of it, and they can figure that out. So,
I think, like you said, I think when you start issuing fines, it'll get resolved quickly.
yeah, so we'll get this tweaked in the next day or two, and I'll send it to Chris just to double check, and then we could do a savvy citizen thing and just say, going forward, and put it on the website, we're enforcing it like this. That way, everybody has the opportunity to read it.
Right. And everybody needs, they'll get letters about
The
having
peop-
10 days to
Yeah, the
cut their
peop- the
grass
people that are
long before
affected
they
will
get
get it, yeah,
tickets,
yeah.
right? So it's not like
Yeah.
anyone's gonna get a ticket by surprise.
Correct. So I think we figured it out.
Thank you, thank
We
you.
got it, we're covered, right?
Yep,
We don't need to do anything else, but,
we just have to change the letter, so I'll get on that. Thank you.
do you want me to ask Michael about that?
That's up to you.
Mike, I should have brought that up when you were under your, report, but the situation with the air conditioning here at Town Hall.
We're getting quotes. As soon as I get the quotes back, I'll have them for next meeting.
Okay, so we are getting quotes on.
Yeah, everything's rubber banded together right now and working, so
It's gonna be a
we're
hot
getting
week.
quotes, yeah.
Yeah.
I see that, what, you gotta pull the disconnect out?
It actually, that's fixed, so the thermostat was also bad, thermostat was replaced, and so that's working fine. The upstairs furnace is jumpered, so that the fan doesn't shut off, but now the thermostat's working properly. The fan motor was replaced, we stole all of the Freon out of the unused unit next to it. So that's pretty cobbled together, yeah. We're gonna get quotes for both units, upstairs and downstairs, although honestly, the upstairs one hadn't been on in like 3 years, so I don't think that's as important, but it's slightly smaller unit, so when we do get quotes, maybe it'll be more efficient to space them out so that they're put together that way. That's all I got.
All right, thank you. Kelly, did you have, so that finishes new business. We'll move on to council comments.
That's all I had.
That's all you had? I thought you had
That's all I
something
had.
else. Oh, I thought you had something. I have a couple correspondence that I received, and I'm gonna read them real quick here for you. One of them was a press release from the Indiana League of Municipal Clerks and Treasurers. The ILMCT is proud to announce Corinne Peffers, clerk treasurer for the town of Porter, is receiving her IAMC. The Indiana Accredited Municipal Clerk is an education certificate developed by the Indiana League of Municipal Clerks and Treasurers. This certificate of education programs are established with the State Board of Accounts, Department of Local Government Finance, and other state partners. The ILMCT education program are accredited by Ball State University. The educational guidelines are International Institute of Municipal Clerks and Association of Public Treasurers in U.S. and Canada standards. The IAMC certificate application is reviewed by 2 ILMCT educational and professional development co-chairs. To become an IAMC, you must document education and training, experience 2 years of ILMCT membership, attend 2 State Board of Accounts schools, attend 2 fall ILMCT district meetings, and State Board of Accounts state meetings called state meetings. It's pretty big, correct? It's pretty big.
Sneaky.
The second correspondence I received was from Iris Hill, and is to Town Council President. Dear William, the Corinne Peffers CMC of Town of Porter has earned the designation of Certificate Municipal Clerk, which is awarded by the International Institute of Municipal Clerks Incorporated. IIMC grants the CMC designation only to municipal clerks who completed demanding education requirements and have a record of significant contributions to their local government, community, and state. The International Institute of Municipal Clerks, founded in 1947, has 14,000 members throughout the United States and Canada and 15 other countries. The mission of this global nonprofit corporation is to enhance the education, opportunities, and professional development of its diverse membership. In light of the speed and drastic nature of change these days, lifelong learning is not only desirable, it is necessary for all in local government to keep pace with the growing demands, changing needs of the citizens we serve. Your city can take immense pride in Corinne's educational accomplishments and achievements of this milestone. On behalf of the IIMC Board of Directors, I'm honored to endorse the conferring of CMC to Corinne Peppers, CMC of the Town of Porter. We share your pride in this achievement, and we applaud your support of the role Corinne plays in your city. Sincerely, Lee Frazier, MMC, IIMC President.
Wow, guys. A big surprise, you guys, thank you. And that's like my whole life back there in the back row. Even these three ladies on the end who are supportive and they put up with my professional overthinking, and I mean, they're just wonderful, and the rest of my support system. And you guys, I'm blessed to, not a lot of clerk treasurers have a good relationship with their council, unfortunately, and I feel very grateful that you guys are all so supportive and you listen and we can work together, so thank you.
We're very
We're
grateful.
very
to have
proud
you.
and
Thank
grateful. And your dedication to the town is amazing. And our residents are lucky to have you.
Thank you.
So thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Keep killing it, girl.
Thank you, Corinne.
Thank you.
With that, I'd like for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Meeting adjourned.
Thank you for your help.
So how much more were they asking for the